That means we're moving on to my game of the week. That was the Cardinals versus the 49ers. One team is reeling and one team is doing a lot better right now. Game started off with a Kylar Murray rush of about 50 plus yards. Shout out Ty Bob right there. He pointed to the end zone right as he passed the line of scrimmage. He knew it was good right away. He's a little mighty mouse. He just zoomed right out of there.
Dig, 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 dig.
He looks like a toddler who's in trouble every time he runs.
Oh, I love the way he runs. It's
It's
hilarious.
awesome.
Niners look like they got Brandon Ayuk back a little bit. He had over 100 yards in this game, I believe so. He looked fine. Guess what? Week 5. That's training camp right there for you. That's preseason right there for you. Niners were up big, 23-10 at halftime. They were up 23-13 after the third. And this is the second game in the season for them where they had an 85% chance of winning in the fourth quarter and still lost the game. It's becoming a trend with the Niners. We all called it before the year. This is going to be their down year, their injured year. It's happening right now in front of our eyes. Brock Purdy is losing. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he's losing money on his contract, but he's not helping his case right now. If he wants that big, big contract. And guess what? Cardinals came away and squeaked away the win at the very end. So great game. Excited to see it at the very end. Cardinals defense stood on their head there at the end. I believe there was a blocked field goal touchdown by the Niners as well. And that's usually if you do that, you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Second time they've done that this year and they've lost. So rough year for them so far.
You are correct, Sean. Brandon Ayuk did have 147 yards receiving. No touchdowns for him. Big game. Funny enough, when you look at the Cardinals, I thought this was pretty funny. Kyler Murray only had 3 less rushing yards than James Conner on 13 less attempts.
Wow.
It was all that big run, man.
That's
80,
impressive.
86 yards for James Conner there, 83 for Kyler Murray. Didn't pass very well. Marvin Harrison Jr. only had 2 receptions on 7 targets. So you know that he's taking that one to heart based on post-game press conferences he's had in the last couple of weeks. Just, what with the things that he said with being able to not haul in some of those passes going to him. So I expect him big rebound next week, whoever they're playing.
Start him.
I think that so are you aware of what they call the candlestick curse up in Northern California?
I've heard about it, but I'm not familiar with it.
We know what it is. We know what it is. Tommy, please explain it to everybody else that's listening that does not know.
So if you do not know what the candlestick curse is, the Candlestick Park is where the Niners used to play. And they tore it down, but they did not get rid of it. There is still a fucking pile of rubble right by the fucking bay up in San Francisco. Yeah, it's just a pile of rubble. Nothing's happened to it.
That is San Francisco, by the way. It's just rubble.
Yes. Well, the whole city. It's just a big shithole. Anyways, though, the Niners saw that the getting got out while the getting was good and went
Player.
like 30 miles inland. And they built their big ass stadium in Santa Clara. And ever since then, they have not been able to win a Super Bowl. Most Niners fans think is because, Candlestick Park is still just a heap of rubble and has not been properly, taken care of to um, help the 49ers. So that could be a legit reason why the Niners aren't winning games. The more you talk about a curse, the stronger it gets. But yeah, the Niners are just finding new ways to blow football games. And I do think though, is it time has time passed for the Niners to win a Super Bowl? Is it over? Is their
window
opportunity
closed?
over?
They'll be back in 2 years, ready to go.
Really?
That's the cycle they're on right now.
That's the cycle. That's the cycle. I brought it up. This past show that every time they lose in the Super Bowl, they take 3 years at least off, and it's mainly due to injuries. So give it 2 more years. So this year, next year, and the following will be injury riddled. And if they still continue to draft well and put together a team, then they'll at least in that 4th year be able to make it to a Super Bowl.
Because I don't think John Lynch is a bad general manager.
I don't think he's a bad general manager. I think they've got some other issues, and maybe it is the Candlestick Park curse. Maybe it runs deeper than that. Maybe it's turf issues. Maybe it's Maybe it's their strength and conditioning coaches are having issues. Maybe they have issues with dietitians. Maybe they're just
Maybe it's
bringing
Kyle
in.
Shanahan.
Maybe it's Kyle
Maybe it's
Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan.
Maybe they're just drafting and bringing in people who are consistently and constantly injured. Who knows? But
Maybe
that
it's
is a
missing
big
D'Amico
issue.
Ryans.
Maybe it's missing
Some are,
Bob Salah.
some are saying
Rip.
Bob Sala might be there. Who knows?
We haven't even talked about that yet.